Welcome to Reviewing Studies, in particular navigating through a study. The purpose of this video is to show you how many different options there are for navigating through a study. Other review functionality will be described in subsequent videos, since there's lots of ways to navigate through this. Now, we've already talked about launching a study by either clicking on the patient name and going down to the Open Record menu, or just simply double-clicking on the study itself. Once we have the study open, the easiest way to navigate through a study is simply to hit the spacebar. This allows you to auto-page through the study at whatever speed is set down in the lower right-hand part of the taskbar with the paging speed buttons. You can click the plus to increase the speed, or click the minus to decrease the speed. To the right of that is the auto-paging stop-start button, so I can click to stop it, or when there's an arrow, I can click to start paging, just the same as the arrows currently do. If you have a study with video and you prefer to scroll through the study with the video, just right-click on the trace in the middle of the screen. We're going to disable the spacebar paging button, and now when I use the spacebar, it will play the video. You can see the video position indicator moving at the top of the screen. You'll also see the review video, which is moving ever so slightly. You'll also see the controls that allow you to play the study, to page backwards, page forward, or to move back and forth the frame at a time. Beneath that, you have the additional controls that will allow you to take a snapshot, to adjust your play rate, to look at the highlights motion, to adjust your volume. If I slide over, you can also mute the screen, or you can go into the video recorder information screen and look at the quality of your video study. If you prefer to look at the study with a little bit more precision, you can use the paging arrows at the bottom left-hand side of the screen. You can see there's a double arrow to page back a page at a time, forward arrows to page a full page forward, or the smaller arrows, the single arrows, go back or forth 1 second at a time. You can also drag the screen to the left or the right to adjust to a certain area in the screen. If you prefer to use arrows on the screen, you can do that by going to the My Settings. Under the General Settings, there's an Enable Paging Arrows option, and when I click that, I get a double or single arrow on the screen. So if I'm in the middle, I can go forward. If I'm on the right side of the middle, I go forward a second at a time. Left side of the middle, 1 second backwards at a time. Outside left, backwards a page at a time. And the same thing on the far right, a page at a time. Now finally, let's say that I want to jump around to different events in a study. So you can see that I have an event list off to the right, and I can click on the event and jump to each of these different events. You will see at the bottom of the screen there are also little hash marks in the timeline. Each of those hash marks represent an event in time. So there may be a comment, there may be a button press, there may be something else, and again I can simply click on those and go to that specific event. The green ones I know are highlights, so if I click on that, I know that I'll go to a highlight in particular. And likewise, the same thing, I can jump to those events in the event list or in the timeline. I can also narrow that down by going to my event list filter and selecting specific events. That concludes the quick overview of different options for navigating through a study. For placing events in a study, managing displays, things like that, look for the video series on recording and review. Thank you again. See you soon.